Hello friends, I'm Indypride. Welcome back to Total War Warhammer, and today we are playing a 3v3 faction war between the Warriors of Chaos and the Wood Elves of Athel, Loren. I am playing as Chaos with a demonic dildo cannon. I don't bring these a lot because I prefer to be a bit more proactive in my playstyle, but there are a few tricks you can use to make them really worthwhile, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Chaos Warriors front line with Aspiring Champions support will be my build. I've got some Forsaken in the back as well. I love the look of these Aspiring Champions. They're one of the coolest looking models in the entire game. Got some of that mobility with the Forsaken infantry to flank around, hopefully tie up some archers. And in the back, we have Sarthoriel the Ever-Watcher, the Greater Demon of Tzeentch, as my Lord choice. I've talked about it in my last Warriors of Chaos vs. Wood Elves replay, but he's a fantastic choice against the Wood Elves because of his high movement speed, mass, and 70% missile resistance, which is incredibly powerful against range units for the Wood Elves. We have some Exalted Heroes up top to ensure aerial superiority. We've got Kolek Suneater, the Herald of the Tempest, holding down the center of the chaotic main line, and Archaon, the Ever-Chosen with the Lore of Fire. Atop, Dorgard, the Steed of the Apocalypse, looking intimidating as ever, and he will be commanding the Chaos Warriors' right flank. Across the battlefield on this dreary day, we've got the Azrai of Athel, Loren, Treekin up front, incredibly tanky frontline troops. They're going to be very good paired with the Lore of Life. Behind that, loads of armor-piercing Eternal Guard, Glade Lord on an Elven Steed, and Spellsinger of the Lore of Life. Tons of Glade Guard archers to fire in and take down Kolek or any of the big units. They'll be very good at skirmishing, and lots of Wildwood Rangers as well. They'll be the biggest threat on the field because they counter pretty much everything that Chaos fields. And of course, we have Durthu Oakheart, Elder of Athel, Loren, with the Sword of Daith and Lore of Beast. He's going to be a serious problem for the Warriors of Chaos main line. Top it all off, we have a Glade Lord and a Forest Dragon up top on Overwatch. So let's talk about these Hellcannons for a second. Pulsating Pleasure Cannons, if you want to bring these guys, you can be a bit more proactive and have some fun with them, all while dramatically increasing your DPS. So you might have noticed right there that I had 2 Hellcannon shots out on the field at one time. Now, I missed the second shot there because I'm bad, but you can dramatically increase their DPS if you use this little trick. I actually don't think I've ever talked about it before because I almost never bring Hellcannons, but their shots actually have 2 separate reload timers, one for normal shots and one for manual firing, and you can really use that to your advantage by waiting until the first shot gets fired, then pressing the insert key on your keyboard and manually firing a second shot instantly after the first one. Hellcannon shots get guided by your mouse when you insert and manually fire with them, and so you can actually guide where they go, and this will not only allow you to hit really juicy targets like the one I'm about to hit right now on the flank of these Wildwood Rangers. Watch them drop from 75 models all the way down to 53 instantly from a single manually fired shot. But it's not just that you're able to guide it into a juicy part of the formation to maximize casualties, but you're also firing twice the amount of shots you would normally be able to do. Now, of course, you're still limited by ammunition, but you're getting those shots out much quicker. You're effectively shooting twice as fast as you would normally be able to because the manual fire and the normal shot have different reload timers, so you're firing much faster. It's really, really good. I definitely recommend you trying out manual firing if you've never done it before. It can do a lot of damage, and it's super satisfying to land those sexy shots. And as you can see, we're intentionally targeting those Wildwood Rangers down because they are such a big threat to pretty much everything that the Warriors of Chaos field. They have a bonus versus large, but more importantly, they have a ton of armor piercing. I think they have 36 armor piercing damage right now, which makes them insane against the Warriors of Chaos main line. We do have some Gorby's Chariots and some high mobility units out on the flanks to hopefully get around behind, get into those Glade Guard in the back, and then rear charge into the Wildwood Rangers. And you can see I'm still working on my manual firing there. I have missed some shots, which is a waste every time that happens, and that's definitely unfortunate, but I have shot a lot with the Hellcannon so far. You can see the Arrow of Kurnus going in, trying to take down that Hellcannon, and it's actually a very good magic missile against the Hellcannon. Can do a lot of damage to the crew and even take out the Hellcannon itself. But I am going to make a mistake here. I should have pulled my Hellcannon back, but I thought that the cannon itself would be able to block the shots of these Glade Guard as they fire in. So he's going to target it down with about 4 different Starfire Shaft Glade Guard units that will allow my Warriors of Chaos to go in pretty much unopposed and not get skirmished down whatsoever. But they have shields. I would much rather them get shot than my unarmored Hellcannon crew. And the assault is going to happen now. Kolak Suneater is going to drop the Lord of the Storm ability on some Eternal Guard, and they're going to explode. And we have a bunch of Exalted Heroes closing down on that Forest Dragon. She's going to have a hard time getting away when there are 3 Exalted Heroes on Manticores chasing her down. Hellcannon has gone down. It seems like it just took a lot of damage from the Eternal Guard Starfire shafts. So the Hellcannon's out of damage at this point. Won't be able to do any more for me, but did get 83 kills on Wildwood Rangers, which is pretty good. So the Warriors of Chaos are going to charge in now. Here come the Treekin, and this is going to be the beginning of our melee engagement. Love watching those Treekin run into melee. They're going to be really tough for me to bring down. I don't have a Lore of Fire caster over on this side of the field, and I don't have halberds either, so dealing with those Treekin is definitely going to be an issue. The Glade Lord is getting gangbanged by the Exalted Hero Flying Goon Squad, and she is not going to be able to pull out of this combat. With, I think, there are now 4 Flying Manticores on her ass. She is completely donezo at this point, and with one last attack, the Forest Dragon is going to go down. She's going to fall off her mount, and they will plummet to the earth. And they're going to pancake some troops down below. Doesn't actually do any damage when they land on the heads of friendly allies, but that's an awesome sight. Forest Dragon is down at the beginning of the battle. Very important for us to take that terror-causing unit off of the field. Kolak Suneater in the center, holding it down, and the Treekin should be able to hold the line. But winning the melee engagement against the Wood Elves is going to be really tough. They have so much armor piercing. We do have Forsaken getting around the flank, but that is going to be a very, very difficult engagement. Fireball shooting from Archaon, the Ever-Chosen, smacking a Treekin in the face, who's going to take it, actually meat shield it. That was meant for Durthu, and so he's not going to take any damage from that fireball. We have Chaos Knights with lances in the back, tying down some of the range units, and this melee engagement in the center is going to be very important for who will win this battle. Sartorial, the Everwatcher, has pulled through and has gotten into the squishy stuff in the back lines, but here come some War Dancers with Azrai Spears. They're going to be a big threat to Sartorial, the Everwatcher. He's got to be very careful. This will do so much damage to him, armor piercing and bonus versus large, but the Lord of Change will rip through these Glade Guard, and this is why I love him against the Wood Elves. He pulls through units so easily because of his high mass, and he absorbs that archer fire like a boss with 70% missile reduction. It's really, really good, and the AoE attacks, just everything about him is so good versus the Wood Elves. But here comes some Wild Riders getting ready to, I thought they were going to go for the Lord of Change. They're going to circle back and tie down these Exalted Heroes, which suits them just fine. They should be able to handle these Wild Riders relatively simply. But we need more units in the back to deal with these Glade Guard who are shooting into Kolak, doing quite a bit of damage to him. And now I realize that Sartorial the Everwatcher is in trouble. He's isolated at this point, surrounded by Azrai Spears and the Wild Riders who are coming in now. And they're going to perfectly overlap and completely surround him, which was really scary. He's going to take a lot of damage here. I'm a little bit overzealous at this point, thinking like the Lord of Change is doing so much damage to those Glade Guard, but I have to pull him out of combat because I have nothing over there to reinforce, and he's taking a lot of unnecessary damage. Durthu on this flank is stomping it out in the middle of the Chaos line. He's one of the only things left. It looks like the Warriors of Chaos have a huge advantage over on this side, but they're going to have a really tough time dealing with Durthu. They need to use Flaming Sword of Ruin from the Lore of Fire on one of their armor-piercing units to really get the kind of DPS required to bring him down. Lamentation of Despair is going off, murdering a bunch of the chaotic troops that are completely surrounding and blobbing up on him. And that's going to be an interesting engagement. We'll see how that goes. Lord of Change did successfully pull out of combat, but has taken a lot of damage. Over on this side, Treekin holding it down. And Wild Riders coming in from the back for a really nice hammer and anvil into the Chaos main line. This could be disastrous for the Warriors of Chaos. This is exactly how you want to use Wild Riders. Beautiful rear charge into the back of a lot of Marauders and Forsaken, and that will probably send them routing. Yet it looks like there's a chain route about to start in the center. That is not good if you are playing Chaos right now, but beautiful job from the Wood Elves there to get a Wild Rider into the back lines. Here come the Exalted Heroes stomping into some of the Glade Guard in the back, and that has got to be one of the most terrifying sights, to see a Manticore just swoop down from the heavens and start ripping your brothers and sisters apart. It is going to land and just eviscerate them. See ya. Where's the top half? Where's the top half of your body? It's gone now. It's pieces. You're little giblets at this point. So that Exalted Hero going to do a lot of damage and they are tying down the range units, which is pretty important because Kolek has taken a lot of damage from the Glade Guard in the back. Gorby's Chariot in the center, just ripping through all these Glade Guard, but they are finally going to get tied down by some Wild Riders. I love watching the Gorby's Chariot go to work. If you can use them well, they are so incredibly satisfying against this kind of range firepower. He needs to get them under control, though, and get them pulling through these Glade Guard where they can really do the damage required that Chaos needs right now, because their main line is definitely faltering. That rear charge from the Wild Riders definitely put a big hurt on them. But with the flanks are going better for Chaos right now. Exalted Heroes coming down, charging into the back of these Wild Riders, and I don't suspect they will stay in combat for much longer. They are terrified, and they are going to break. We'll see if we can kill them off before they can rally and come back to the field. Center is definitely going the Wood Elves' way, but Gorby's Chariot did pull free, and it is doing a lot of damage to these Glade Guard. Some Dire Wolves, actually, not Dire Wolves, Chaos Warhounds running down a lot of the archers as well, and things might be shifting back in the Wood Elves' favor a little bit. Archaon the Ever-Chosen going to point-blank fireball Durthu in the face. Chaos does appear to be winning on this side, but Durthu could maybe just terrify that entire blob of units. There's not a whole lot left. Blade Lord is going to go down in the center to Kolek, who just smashes Starcrusher down and pancakes some of those Eternal Guard. Wildwood Rangers coming in to reinforce as well, but Kolek really needs to get out of that combat. He does not have a lot of HP left. And the left flank for Chaos has won. Pretty much only a few Treekin left, going down to some Aspiring Champions, and Warriors of Chaos are coming in to reinforce. But Kolek is very low on HP. One more volley from a Starfire Shaft unit could maybe bring him down. Lord of Change being annoying as ever, slaughtering some Wild Riders alongside his Exalted Heroes of Tzeentch. And they are causing so much havoc in the back. But is it enough? Can they relieve the pressure in the center long enough for the flanks to collapse in and reinforce? I don't know. Sartorial is causing so much havoc, though. He's going to be able to charge through and get at some more Glade Guard, and they are going to be in the worst position imaginable. Sandwiched between Gorby's Chariots and a Lord of Change charging in from both flanks, pancaking them into the mud. Beautiful charge there, and I assume that they're going to be running very soon as the Manticores come in, and some Tzeentch Lightning going to get cast down by the Greater Demon of Tzeentch as well. Over on this side, looks like Durthu has fallen. Archaon might have struck the final blow there, but the Wood Elves are winning on this side. I did not expect that at all. It looked like Archaon had it in the bag, but he is going to fail as per usual. He really needs some buffs to make him a little bit better, because he does not really feel like the Lord of the End Times right now. He only has like 43 kills, and he's going to have to book it out of that combat, or things are going to get even more disastrous for the Warriors of Chaos on that flank. Aspiring Champions in the center. Kolek running for the hills. He's just saying, I'm getting the hell out of here, boys. I don't want to be here anymore. Treekin and Forsaken and a Spellsinger in combat. See if she can do any cool animations here. Love watching the Spellsinger in melee combat. She's really awesome. And the Forsaken have no hope of beating Treekin either. They just don't have the DPS required to bring those things down. And things are definitely looking very bad for the Warriors of Chaos at this point. Lord of Change making his stand, casting Plague of Rust on this big AoE of troops, backed up by some Marauders. We're getting jibbed by the Treekin, backed up by the Exalted Heroes to do a lot of damage, but this is pretty much the last bastion of hope for Chaos at this point. The center is almost completely broken. Exalted Heroes and Lord of Change very low. Gorby's Chariot on this side, pulling through some Glade Guard, going to cause them to run and shatter, as you would expect. Very good use of the Gorby's Chariot. It's actually made a pretty big impact in this game, but it won't be enough, it doesn't look like. Archaon is going to rout here. Yeah, he's going to shatter. And with that, the only thing left on the field is Sartorial the Everwatcher, who is unbreakable and will make his stand. Tzeentch Lightning getting cast down again. Holding it down, surrounded by Wild Riders, Eternal Guard, and Treekin. A nice Gehenna's Golden Hounds into the middle of this blob. Actually going to kill a decent amount of troops there. Pretty decent Vortex. But even with that cast, Lord of Change, the Greater Demon of Tzeentch will not be enough to turn this fight in the Chaotic Forces' favor. And the Wood Elves of Athel Loren will take it. So really interesting battle there. Was a lot of fun. I love faction war theme style battles. They're just a lot of fun to play. Hellcannons did a lot of work for me. Killed a lot of Wildwood Rangers. I should have gotten more kills with it, honestly. Should have pulled it back. I was stupid to not do so. But really great Wild Rider usage from our opponents. The Wildwood Rangers did so much damage in the center. Their armor piercing and bonus first large just to let them cut through the center relatively easily. The Glade Lord got slaughtered early on, which I thought would be great for us, but it wasn't enough to turn it in our favor. Sorthorel the Everwatcher, almost 100 kills. And yeah, my main line, my Warriors, the Chaos Warriors themselves just did not do very well. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you all next time. Indypride signing out.